Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the elect of the nation of Israel. This is your brother Ayash Kabar from the GMS Virginia camp, coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. And, bros, when I tell you that Jake, I look at you when you start bringing out the scriptures like a deer in the headlights, I truly mean it. I've seen it happen right before my eyes. Although I've seen it before, but I was really keen on picking up, this Jake's response, you know what I'm saying? Because, through idle conversations, this, that, or the other, Jake essentially is trying to get an idea as to what's going on. But even though you explain to Jake, at a very basic level, what's going on and what will eventually happen, Jake just don't believe you. You know what I'm saying? There's this Jake, that I know. And I knew him for a very long time. Salakia. I knew him for a long time, But nonetheless, he and I were talking one day. Long story short, I try to avoid him as much as possible. But on this one in particular day, this week, he called me, and I went over to see what he was talking about, or I went over there to see what he had to say. So, I'm talking to this Jake, and long story short, he sees what's going on in the world, but he doesn't understand how bad it's going to get in the world. He sees, all of these things happening around him, but he doesn't believe that Babylon the Great is going to fall, because in his mind, this is all he's ever known, and it goes for him and a whole bunch of Jakes just like him. I really don't care about what the heathen think. I mean, the natural heathen think. But as far as Jakes are concerned, Jakes are looking for answers. But when you give them the answers, they just don't believe the answers that you give them. So a lot of times, I just walk away from fucking Jake, But going into the story, so I looked at this Jake. I was like, yeah, bro, it's going to get really fucked up. And it's going to get so fucked up, there isn't going to be any time like it upon the face of the earth. Not in the past. Nothing is going to compare, to what's coming. I've told him that before, but he doesn't believe it's going to get that bad. So, he asked me, so how do you get through these things? And I said, faith. And this Jake looked at me like a deer in the headlights, bro. Like, faith. That's the answer you got for me? Faith? You know what I'm saying? And this image of this deer on the screen, does it no justice on how he was looking at me, bro? I mean, I was pissed off over the fact that, he was questioning faith, but I found it funny as shit that he didn't believe that faith is going to get the elect through what's coming. So, and quite honestly, that's the sentiment of 2/3 of these Jakes, and I just found it hilarious. So I'm going to break out some scriptures and, the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, Salak, chapter 2 and verse 15. Salak, the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 1, Salak. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy which I will put in thy mouth, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So the Lord has commanded his prophets or his servants to to go out there and preaching to the people the prophetic things that are coming to pass, you know. And and even though I was telling Jake there's going to be a famine, there's going to be a race war, civil war, world war, class war, this war, that war, he just didn't believe me, you know. You know, in verse 2, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. So even in this verse, you know what I'm saying, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is telling you that what he's saying is faithful and true. Believe in these things, you know. Believe in these things. But, you know, the problem with Jake is Jake don't have any faith. Jake just don't believe in the things that he can't see, you know. Which, you know, the book of Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 1 tells you exactly what faith is, and Jake just don't have it. Now, faith is the things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Jake just don't believe in that, you know. In verse 3, fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about if he believes it or not, you know, because the scriptures say, let Yahweh Hashem Yahushua be true and every man a liar, you know. So I don't care if he believes it or, well, I don't care if he don't believe it, you know, because that's only to his destruction. You know, he hasn't been given that gift of faith, you know, and that's not to say that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua won't give him the gift of faith during the time of Jacob's trouble, but for right now, he just doesn't get it. You know, he just doesn't believe it. And you know, like I said, it's not just him, it's a whole bunch of other people. You know, you got 2/3 of the nation of Israel walking around here and dead, you know, dead in the spirit. You know, they don't know which way to go. They're looking for a sense of direction, you know, but yet and still the prophets are out there on the highways and byways, you know, which goes to show you that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is being merciful still. You know, it's a merciful thing even today, you know, to have the prophets out there on the highways and byways, you know, informing you about all of these prophetic things that are coming to pass. You know, but you know, if you don't believe in the words that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua sent his prophets out there to warn you about, then, you know, that's on you. That's on you. You know what I'm saying? That's you see, Jake has a problem with reading. I'll say reading. And then even with his reading, he has a problem with understanding what he's read. So Jake will read a verse and Jake will interpret that verse totally wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not moving in the spirit. He's not reading that verse in the spirit. You know, and the only men upon the face of the earth who can do those things are the men that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua has set up to do those things, and those are the prophets, starting with Elder Apostle Tahar on down. You know, so Jake is looking for answers within himself. You know, well, you know, I read this verse and, you know, this is how I see it. Okay, well, that's how you see it is wrong. It means this. You know, even when you tell Jake what it means, in his mind, he has a hard time letting that shit go. You know, and in that, a lot of people are going to be destroyed because they refuse, you know, to let go of that pride, you know. They refuse to let go of the ways of this world, you know. Verse 4, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. And that's exactly what's going to happen. You know, if you don't have the faith in what's being preached to you, then you're just going to be destroyed, you know what I'm saying? Because one of the things that a lot of Jakes like to say is, well, the Bible's been tainted. Well, prove to me that it's been tainted. You know, show me where. You know, so he can't even show you where it's been tainted. You know, and there are some things that, yeah, this devil has removed out of the scriptures that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai had hidden until these times. Yeah, but you're saying it's tainted, but you can't even show where it's tainted. You know, that is just your excuse of getting out of believing what you're being told. You see, Jacob find every fucking reason in the world not to believe something, just to continue in the bullshit that he's in, rather than following, the voice of Yahweh Shem Yashai. You know? What did Yahweh Shai say? My sheep hear my voice. You know, so if you don't hear the voice of Yahweh Shem Yashai, then you're not of his flock. You're not of his sheep. You're not of that fold that's going to be of the elect. And so with that is going to come your destruction. You know, because when you read the scriptures, there's no way in the world I don't know, bro. I mean, Jake has this idea in his head that everything is going to be gravy, you know? And then I turned around. Then I turned around and looked at him right in his fucking face, and I said, "This ain't for you. This ain't for you, because if Yahweh Shem Yahushai has got you blocked, this ain't for you." You know what I'm saying? And numerous times I was like, "All right, look, bro, I gotta go." You know, and every time I was like, "All right, I gotta go," he tried to keep me near. You know, as if my answer was gonna change, as if the words that I'm saying were gonna change. No, they're not. They're not going to change for you or for anyone. You know? So you're going to run into that. You're going to run into a whole bunch of people, in our walk that's going to want to believe, but not be able to believe. You know? Because in our walk, you run into rich men, who would be willing to do anything that they could possibly do. But when you tell them to get rid of their wealth, well, they got a problem with that. Well, shit, I don't want to get rid of my wealth, bro. Well, then you can't enter into the kingdom of heaven. You know, you're gonna have men that'll turn around and say, "Well, shit, y'all gonna be here tomorrow? I'll join you tomorrow." You know what I'm saying? I got to go and bury my pops. Well, let the dead bury the dead. Then that's not a man of the elect. So the examples are coming at a greater level. The incredulity of the people is going to grow far more than those who do believe. You know, this ain't nothing to be playing with, man. You know, a lot of Jakes actually think that, it's not going to get terrible out here. Yeah, it's going to get fucking terrible. And it's going to get fucking terrible really quick. You know? The scriptures say, although it tarry, wait for it, for it shall surely come. And when it comes, it's not going to tarry. It's not going to wait until you get ready. It's not going to wait until, you decide on when you're going to do something. No, it's going to come when Yahweh Shem Yahushua says, now is the time to make this happen. Now is the time to, bring out more pestilence. Now is the time to bring out the famine, But I just don't want to stop at the famine of the food. I want to stop the famine of the word, because I've given them ample enough time, to hearken unto my voice. Because when I was talking to this Jake, it's almost like he was looking at me as if he couldn't understand the words that were coming out of my mouth when I said, the only way you're going to get through what's coming is with what's coming is through faith. He couldn't comprehend that. The book of Romans chapter 3 and verse 3. For what if some did not believe? You know? He's looking at me as though, what? Really? Faith? I done heard it all now. Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua without effect? Shall the fact that you don't believe that faith is going to get you through this going to stop any of these prophetic events from happening? Not at all. God forbid. Yea, let Yahweh Hashem Yahushua be true, but every man a liar. As it is written, thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. Oh man, shit, I don't believe in nothing that you're saying. You're saying faith? You're saying the only way I'm going to get through this is by faith? Is faith going to feed my kids? Is faith going to put a roof over my head? Is faith going to do this? Is faith? Yeah. Yeah, in fact it is. The fact that you lived your life so long without the faith of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua in your life makes it very difficult for you to believe. And so a lot of you people are just going to be destroyed. So even when these prophecies come out, you jakes are just looking at the prophets just like this deer on the screen, like a fucking deer in headlights. You know, it's like a deer in headlights. So when we go out there on the highways and byways, it's not for your 2/3 salvation. You know, although we have to go out there on the highways and warn you people of the destruction that's coming. But it's for the elect. And we also got to let these other nations know what's coming to them as well. Because it's about to get ugly out in this piece. And there's nothing that these people are going to be able to do about it except look like this did. Yo, bro, it was some funny shit. It was like I saw I can't explain it, bro. It was like I saw a glaze of glass just go over his eyes. He was confounded. And so, yeah, you know, when the time of Jacob's trouble come, you know, and his devil comes in like a flood, and they make these jakes take the MOTB, when you sitting back and you eating on your fucking kid's leg or, you know, your woman's arm or what the fuck ever because you hungry, you're going to sit back and you're going to think about the words of the prophets. You're going to sit back and you're going to think about the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, and you're going to be put to shame. There's going to be a deep level of regret that goes through your heart, meaning your mind, as to why you didn't listen. When you end up in these fucking FEMA camps, and some of us might, even the elect might. But for you 2/3, when you end up in these fucking FEMA camps, looking for answers and not find it, yo, you're going to know that a prophet has been among you. You're going to be kicking your ass, because then your family's going to be looking at you like, honey, what do we do? Your kids are going to be looking at you like, Dad, I'm scared. Because you haven't prepared them for the time that's coming because you didn't have faith. Anyhow, so with that, you know, Jake is just gone, you know, and 2/3 are just faithless, you know. Or should I say they're faithless in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, you know. They believe in their goods and they believe in their wealth and they believe in other people, but they don't believe in their power. Yahweh Yahushua. And so 2/3 is just going to be cut off and die. Thus saith Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. You know? And so with that, I'd like to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.